Did anyone get the name of that wagon that hit me?
Hello and welcome to another edition of Dota 2 Pubcast. I'm Johnny with the Space Pirates, and today I don't have a team matchmaking game for you. It's just a regular old pub. How many spectators are we at? 86? So I just chose the first thing that was on the watch tab. It just happened to be in pre-game. So today we have on Dire, Knoxville as OD. We have I Take Pills for Skills. Playing Io, we have Horanor. Orinor,
30
I don't know,
seconds to go.
as Crystal Maiden. We have Quista as Anti-Mage. And then where's our Huskar? There he is. Flo playing Huskar, sitting there in the Radiant Jungle. And then on Radiant we have Hasu as Gyrocopter. We have Sunk as Vengeful Spirit.
And
We
here
have
go.
Tobzor as Shadow Fiend, Steph as Timbersaw, and then finally Cloudy's Enigma. So Cloudy going straight for the Soul Ring, not your usual Clarities in a Sage Mask or whatever have you. We have a ward, an aggressive ward now up from Flo, and I Take Pills for Skills. So they've warded the camp, and they've warded the area, so they can see the rune and this area. This is actually a ward that's popped up fairly recently. I guess in the past few months it's become very popular. So Sunk running around, also going to place a ward. More defensive there though. It is the safe lane after all. Knoxville and Tobzor, gonna be interesting. OD should be able to pull him down a little bit, since he's going to be able to prison him. Tobzor is playing a very snowball-heavy character. However, the snowballers are really on Dire. We have Anti-Mage, Crystal Maiden. We have Flo playing Huskar. Those two and OD, I'm really looking at to dominate late game if it manages to go there. Because Radiant has Timbersaw, who's a really great... He is a good late game hero. He shines most in the mid game, though, especially with the huge buffs he has, making everything cost pretty much no mana for him. Not to mention, we have Gyrocopter, who is also a very, very good late game carry. However, he's also very good. I see he's got Rocket Barrage, which is a very good early game skill. You could actually go out in the first minute, say, and if Gyrocopter had been waiting, I guess, like here with somebody, he could have gone up, hit Huskar with the Rocket Barrage, and then Venge probably would have been able to help him finish him off. So, very good early aggression from Gyrocopter with the Rocket Barrage and the homing missile. So that's going to be going for Flo, and it looks like they're not going to follow that up. They're just looking to zone them out. And down here at mid, we have Horanor with an illusion rune, looking to possibly go on Tobzor if he overextends. However, he's retreating a little bit into that jungle to hide. He's had his intelligence stolen a couple of times now, so he's missing 9 intelligence. There's going to be a Crystal Maiden rune, or illusion, just to see what he's going to do. Quista barely makes it out of there and salves. So pretty much no mana on Steph, thanks to a level 2 mana break from Quista. And now we have Horanor also trying to zone him out really well. Does a really good job of it. Steph has no mana. Hasu is in trouble. He's got Flo and I Take Pills for Skills on him. He's burning. They've got spirits, but Venge soaks up most of the spirits. But Gyrocopter is going to be just fine, assuming he stays back for a little bit. However, that is going to zone him out of all of the experience up here. Wisp and Huskar is a very dangerous combination. However, like I said, these two have the early game aggression, especially with the Venge stun. Yep, and Wave of Terror. So lots of great early game and mid game from Radiance. Also some good, fairly good mid-game from Dire as well, but they're really not going to be able to do much early game. And we're seeing that right now. Despite their aggression, they do manage to kill off Venge, but Gyrocopter's just going to pick off Huskar. Knoxville is getting a lot more aggressive. He's caging Shadow Demon over here, who now has pretty much no mana. So I'm going to say that hands down, I'm going to say that OD probably is going to win this lane. And OD wins pretty much any lane
bottom tower.
or any mid matchup automatically anyway, or at least the common mid matchups usually. So here's Horinor once again to come down and try and see what he can do. Sorry about that weird camera thing for a second there. Tobzor is going to have to back out or he's going to be in a lot of trouble. We have an invis Horinor. He's going mostly into his Arcane Aura, so that's pretty interesting. That got a recent buff, I believe. So there we go. We had the Frostbite, we had the Frost Nova, and there we go. Crystal Maiden going to finish him off. There we go, we have Malefice. Malefice on OD, who prisons himself, but it's not going to be enough. He ults, he was already at 6, but it's not enough. It was close though, and now Cloudy's been slowed. And there we go with the last ditch Black Hole, and now we have Shadow Demon porting in. Woo! Steph holding his own, but just barely. Despite, this is a really, really good choice of laning for Dire. They got really lucky here. Well, perhaps not lucky, because Timbersaw is a fairly, he's actually a pretty amazing offlaner. But considering he's going to be going against Anti-Mage, despite having all the low mana costs in the world, it's really not going to matter because he's decided to go into mana break. So that was a very, very good idea. Hasu just barely escaped down at bot. Flo and I Take Pills for Skills are completely healed up. In fact, we still have 2 tangos now on Flo. So I Take Pills for Skills gonna deny and take a couple of last hits if he can. Now that Flo is going over towards the rune. And now he has a haste. And now he's charging mid. I think he's looking for Cloudy. Cloudy knows this. He's running away. He's trying to do what he can. Flo does not manage to find him. We had Horinor coming in just to help him out. And now Flo is going to continue the search with the haste. And he says, well, if I can't find him, screw it.
Taking hits.
And I believe they're going to be going on Hasu. Yes. Yes, they are. But he's going to get hit with the Venge Stun and the Rocket Barrage. And here comes the missile to stun him to hopefully secure his escape. However, the Spirits finish him off. Horinor comes in just to help. And they finish off Vengeful Spirit as well. So, Flo probably going to need to eat a tree. Either that or feed some tangos to I Take Pills. No, there we go. We have Tranquils from Io. Very, very good item for Io because of that shared regeneration. So, very good for Flo. Honestly, this is a pretty great matchup, especially since they need this to go to late game and they need to endure until late game. The Io Huskar matchup is really great. It's going to make them extremely tanky against the very early aggressive Gyro and Venge. Speaking of Gyro, he now has a Ring of Basilius. Venge has nothing but wards. And now we have an Io gank. We have the stun. We have the spirits. We have Cloudy with almost no health. We have Flo with almost no health. He's definitely going to die. Yes, he's dead. Io not going to be able to make it out. Yes, he is, actually. He's going to port right back in, except Gyro is there waiting for him. He has him tagged with the homing missile. Very good tether out. However, he is going to be stunned, but will it be enough? Will Gyro be able to close the gap in time? I believe he will. He's going to rocket barrage him. He's going to flat cannon him. No, he's not. He's just far too close to that tower. Horinor going to be invis again and going towards middle. Tobzor now finally has some mana. He has 36 souls. He is missing 17 intelligence, however. Horinor, is he going to do anything? Is he just going to wait for him? Just going to follow him around? Going to stop there. Risk being seen by the tower. Steph now has a little bit of mana. That could have been bad. He could have gone over to that tree. But honestly, I think he just wants to be really defensive. He just wants to keep it back by his tower, try to get a couple of last hits in. Quista has not been making it easy for him. And honestly, despite having all this late game, Dire is doing an extremely great job. It's really surprising me. They have the hero choices. It's their lane composition that's really going really well for them. Quizstar was perfect against Steph. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble now that Cloudy's up here, who I'm going to be interested to see if Cloudy's going to start jungling in their jungle instead, because that's the kind of protection that that Steph needs. And I'm sorry I missed that. Whoa. Sorry. They attempted a gank on Topzor, but it's just not going to work. Cloudy's going to put in bot to help out Sunk. So I apologize for missing all of that. Io is now bot. They're going for Sunk. They really want him. They want his body. They don't want to be hit by the tower, however. So Sunk is going to be burned a little bit by those spears, and now we have Shadow Fiend porting in. We have a black hole on both. It's going to be great. That means he can rise him, right? Shadow raise him, right? Yeah. So he's dead. Cloudy's dead. Sunk's about to die. If Horror, yeah. Horror finishes him off. Now this has been a key part of Dire's strategy with staying even with Radiant, is this roaming Crystal Maiden, who has now died because of that quick turnaround that she did right here instead of just keeping on running. There's a lot of doubt in players. I'm noticing that when I'm watching these games. There's a lot of, should I go back? Would it be okay to just hit him with one more little spell, and it kills them. And that's unfortunately what happened to Crystal Maiden up here. Urn is now finished on Io, and we have a magic wand up on Crystal Maiden. We have part of a Shadow Blade coming up on Shadow Fiend. And he's been prisoned once again. He's losing 7 intelligence. OD doing pretty well for himself. Dire is on top of the farm. However, OD is just barely ahead of Shadow Fiend, who is now bot, and he is getting wrecked. Oh, he is in trouble. He's trying to run from those spirits, but he's also burning, and Io hits him. He releases all those souls. He's dead. Steph comes in to try and help, but it's too late. There are trees everywhere helping him out.
Radiant's mid tower's getting
Flo does manage to escape, however. So there we go. We have an Urn charge up on I Take Pills. So they are porting mid now, going for Cloudy. So Dire are trying to assert as much of this early game aggression and dominance as they possibly can with this great combination that they have. One, oh, dying right before the escape. Huskar dies to Gyrocopter right after killing him. I Take Pills for skills. Just forced to be a bot by himself now.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
Sunk now has wards. Their wards just ran out, however, so Dire has all the vision. There we go. We have one ward up here.
Top tower's in bad shape.
So that's going to be really good for Shadow Fiend, assuming he's coming back at mid, which it would appear that he is. He really needs to see where OD is at all times if he wants to be able to come down here and farm and whatever else. Hornor
Dire's
in
mid
trouble.
could use a little help.
Trying to jungle a little bit. Not quite working. It's working a little bit. He is going to finish off this one. So, a lot of effort, but he finishes him off. Quizstar now, partway through to his Battle Fury. And so, Radiant now is being even with Dire, and that is a problem. We now have Flo coming in once again. We have a dual strike on them, though, so that's great. However, they are going to finish off Venge, and getting that kill on Venge is going to put them yet another kill in the lead. It's a very slight lead, but this is too close a game for Radiant to be making these kinds of mistakes. And if they won, I believe they could finish off this tower right now. I don't think anybody... Oh, Shadow Fiend does have a TP. However, Cloudy does not.
Bottom tower.
Hasu does, though.
Double damage.
Tranquil is on Crystal Maiden, healing her up, and I do believe they are going to take, yes, the tower.
Radiant lost one of them bottom towers.
Quista just about finished that battle, Fury. Decides to go back into the jungle to avoid punishment from Steph. I take pills for skills, and Flo gonna get caught out in just a second. Yep, here we go. 3-man gank. He's going to hop onto Tabzor. There goes the dual strike. They are both dead. Tabzor releasing his ult, ensuring that kill. He manages to get both. We now have Arcanes on Timbersaw,
Radiant's mid
and a
tower's
Shadow
coming
Blade
apart.
finished on Shadow Fiend, and now a Mechanism on OD. It's going to be very interesting. Horanor
Radiant's
also
mid
getting
tower
caught out.
could use a hand.
So both teams making a lot of
Dire might
mistakes.
wanna mine their top
Now those
tower.
3 dying here are going to get Gyro. They're going to give him enough room to start farming up. I would imagine he's going for a BKB next because of all of these horrible spells that he keeps getting hit with. Armlet is now finished on Huskar.
Dire's top tower's getting
Knoxville,
beat down.
once again with the prison. Just going back to our
Radiant's mid
laning here.
tower's getting banged up.
Anti-Mage is keeping his farm up. His network is going great. Tabzor getting killed. Flo was about to die. Yes, he is. Oh, Armlet toggling. You gotta love it. He gets stunned. There goes the OD ult, finishing somebody off. We have a 2-man, 3-man exchange here. We have a prison, and now these two are definitely going to finish these two off. There we go. Dual strike coming down, though. Finishing off Cloudy. Horanor is in trouble. The Rocket Barrage not going to be enough. He gets frostbitten. Knoxville finishes him off.
Tower's coming apart.
Honestly, just a crazy game. This is going to give Dire all of the room that they need to finish pushing down that tower, to maybe even put a little, well, no, they're not going to put a little pressure on that tower, but, you know, Anti-Mage can now go back into the lane if he wants to, assuming that it pushes back, at least for a second, although
Radiant's mid
we are
tower's
early
getting
enough in the
banged
game,
up.
they're about to all respawn.
Have fun trying
However,
to bust
it
down
did give them the
Radiant
room,
structures now.
and OD went for it, but they fortified. So Steph now hanging around mid. Not a good place for Timbersaw to be. There are really no trees unless they come over here. And, you know, assuming he's over here or something. I think he's looking to just defend and to just try to do whatever he can to keep that away from the tower. We have 3 others coming now up from Radiant to try and help him out. Stealing intelligence from Steph, not going to be a big hurt considering the low mana cost of all of his skills. We had an attempt at Roche from I Take Pills for Skills and Flo. Tabzor now. Ooh. I Take Pills going into overcharge. Outworld Devourer's life has been ended. Cloudy has been jumped on. He is also going to die, but not if Flo dies first. He does kill him, but Steph finishes him off. This is a crazy game. I Take Pills for Skills. Gonna die here. Definitely. No, he's not. I didn't even notice the number. I am so sorry about that. Where did he go? They poured it in from Fountain. Oh, he poured it out from Fountain. So he's gonna be right back. So he is back with an overcharged Flo, and they are going to kill Sunk. Those burning spears doing a ton of damage. Tabzor comes in. He really wants to take out I Take Pills. He does. But Pills manages to dust him, so there's no way out as Flo finishes him off.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Homing missile. Just going to try and finish off Flo. Not going to be able to do it, though. Dual strike, also not hurting him at all. He has 5 stacks on that Berserker's blood. Husu running away. Ooh, that ult taking him down to 18 health. Gets finished off by OD. OD needs to come back and help. Yes, he is. Flo manages to make it out. Or he could if he wanted to, but he's not. Nope, nope. Armlet toggling. Wow. Impressive toggling. However, they are going to get Black Hole, but he's not being focused. And now he's dead. It's too bad because Timbersaw has all of that what is it? Is it true damage, or is that what it's called here? Pure damage. Okay. I keep getting messed up. I played League for one summer like 3 years ago, and I still get it mixed up between true and pure. I think it's because it's still, you know, true sight in this game. So, it's going to be an easy rush for Dire. Now, this is a problem. They're gaining the upper hand. We're hitting the mid-game. And everybody's been farmed up enough where, honestly, it's going to be a huge problem for Radiant. They need to be defensive. They need to start picking people off. And you know what? An Invis Horinor is not going to help them at all. Because he just came in and ensured the kill there. Flow now, getting gutsy. Less than 200 health, jungling in the Radiant jungle. However, he's completely safe too. They have that advantage. Radiant realizes that they have to be defensive. And they're just going to try and do what they can to try and defend that bottom tower. Anti-Mage has his Blade Fury, or his Battle Fury rather. He's going to blink out though. He just wants to farm and do as much damage to that tower as he possibly can. Dire has not lost a single tower.
Dire's top tower, you know the drill.
And it would appear that the game is in heavy, heavy favor of Dire. It is a 12,000 experience and 12,000 gold difference in favor of Dire. Cloudy getting caught out of position. He got stunned. He got jumped. Flow now taken out, but he has the Aegis. The dual strike has been wasted. Is he going to jump? He's going to get tethered, and they're going to run away for a second, regroup, and then I'm betting you anything they're going to come right back.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
And they're actually not. They're not going to come right back. Crystal Maiden did not have a lot of health.
There goes Radiant's bottom
They're just going to
tower.
buy their time. Bide their time, rather. They're going to jungle. They're going to go around. They have all the time in the world and all of the advantage. They are 8 kills ahead, but they are heavily farmed. In fact, 4 members of their team are farmed more than Cloudy, who is second on the Radiant team. It's a game of farm. Tobzor gonna catch out Horinor. Yeah, the ult straight into one right click, gonna finish him off.
Right now.
Man, it was like 2 seconds. However, I was gonna say he did use that ult. However, 100 seconds is not that long. Flow and I take pills for skills with these IO ganks. Now they're just gonna try and run away and armlet toggle until time runs out. And now they're gone, just like that. Quista now blinks out. They have these hit and run tactics that are working so well for them, and Radiant just does not seem to know how to deal with it. They're gonna catch out Hasu now, jump him. He's dead. You know, for a gyrocopter, he is pretty under-farmed at this point. He has a Ring of Aquila, or Aquila, however you want to say it, as well as phase boots and a magic wand, and that's it. That's it. Flow is an armlet and a helm. And now he's getting a BKB, which he's 200 gold away from. And then even Io here, it would appear, is building a Bloodstone?
Radiant's top towers.
Is that what that is?
The Radiant
I would
lost
say
the top
so.
tower.
So that's going to mean, well, it's going to mean a pocket suicide for him, just in case. Just in case they do get caught out with those ganks. Or if he just wants, you know, a free trip to the fountain. It's going to mean lower respawn timers for Io. Yeah, there's the Bloodstone. Oh, this is a goofy game. Cloudy is going to get jumped and murdered. He's just out of position. Radiant is getting themselves caught out of position, but they can't really go anywhere. If Dire has vision, Flow and I take pills are just going to show up. They have to group up, and they have to be super defensive. They have to win
Radiant's
team
top
fights
tower's in
to come
bad
back
shape.
from this. Dire is all the team in the world, or all of the time in the world, rather. They're very farmed. Radiant is in a lot of trouble. And it's really too bad. I really, really want to see a big comeback here. That would make for one exciting game, but I don't know. The kills are even enough where plausibly they could possibly come back if they're evening up the kills enough. I was gonna port out. Just up here. To ward. Counter ward. Dire has the vision. Radiant. They're not sure what they can do right now. The best that they can really do is just move from tower to tower. Push creeps away. Quit stop. That homing missile's not really gonna mean much. Flo's coming around, he jumps Topzor. You know, it's too bad because Shadow Fiend is such a squishy carry, but there's a black hole on Flo and a Crystal Maiden ult, which goes uninterrupted for like a whole 2 seconds. Steph here getting caught out. He tries to go for Flo. He does manage to kill him off. Good job there, Steph, although I think the creeps got the last hit. Steph, though, you are in so much trouble. He tries to hookshot out, but he is dead, and he would have hookshot straight into Quizta anyway. So now they're going to take these towers. They're going to take this Rax. And then I imagine they're going to back right up and then do the same thing in middle lane. They have that kind of time.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant's bottom tower's done.
There goes the tower. Here comes the Rax. Quizta's getting overcharged because why not? Radiant sitting in the fountain. They cannot move out safely unless they're as a huge group. And they're farmed enough where we've hit the late game phase at 25 minutes. They have all of their items. Radiant's got nothing. Timbersaw has a plate mail. Gyro has... he's going for drums. They're just not the items that they need. Shadow Fiend tried to stay competitive, but he still has half the farm of Anti-Mage. He has a Yasha. He's going for, I believe, a Manta style. There goes the dual strike. Coronor getting caught out. Oh, hit by Shadow Fiend, who then has to back off and start hitting Knoxville, because Knoxville is just laying them out. He has a lot of intelligence. And he could have finished off Topzor, who raises just as he prisons. Quizta is going to come up and he's going to finish off Topzor. He's being overcharged. They're being slowed. We have a lot of true damage. Knoxville has to back out. Quizta probably should as well, or else he's going to be he's risking getting hit with that Malefice. And Venge stuns him. There we go. There's the Malefice. So he's out, but he's going to keep getting stunned. Crystal Maiden ult. A Crystal Maiden ult. Going completely uninterrupted. Doing a ton of damage to Sunk and Hasu, who just now finishes off his drums as Anti-Mage finishes off his Manta style. Roche is back up in 2 minutes. But honestly, Dire probably doesn't even need it. They've almost doubled the kills now. They're going for the middle tower and the Rax. They have the room to do it. Shadow Fiend is their only problem right now, especially since there are no trees up here for Timbersaw to go for.
How about that?
BKB up on Flo so he could walk right through Timbersaw's ult there. He's going to get prisoned to save him from the tower, as well as get regened up a little bit. There goes the mech.
There goes the
1 Rax, or I guess 3 Rax, 4 Rax. It's over. I'm going to say there's honestly nothing. Yeah, 30,000 gold difference. That's what I'm talking about with that farming. 30,000 gold and experience. It's all over. Frankly, if this was a competitive game, they'd have called GG by now.
Radiant's mid tower's in trouble.
So they're just sitting in fountain. That's the game. And yet, no fountain griefing. They just want to make sure that they don't leave while they finish off the engine. So all in all, a good game, but that laning strategy, the lane picks from Dire was enough to secure their late game while still remaining competitive in the early and mid game. So that's the game. I'm going to leave it up on the scoreboard for a second. Once all these, player cards have finished. That way you can look at the items, the score, whatever else you need to look at. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Pubcast Dota 2 with Johnny from the Space Pirates. Thank you for watching.